The format, 6 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 90 minutes. So today is Wednesday, we'll go Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we'll end on a Monday. We're gonna have sessions on holidays, so July 4th and Juneteenth, I think, are the two holidays that are coming up. So we're gonna run sessions on those just because it's kind of unavoidable going through holidays. Every session, so we've got a lot to do. We're gonna have a 5-minute break, so basically warm up, we'll do 2 sections of stuff, we'll get a brief break in between, fuel, get some carbs in, whatever it is, and then we'll finish with our second section. And we're going to do some really consistent movements for max improvement. So a lot of times when programs are put together, it's like infinite variety, so that you're like, oh, this is super fun. Not gonna lie, this isn't necessarily going to be super fun, but it's going to be maximally productive, right? And so you're going to see basically the same bucket of maybe like 15 movements, but they're selected specifically to basically hit every single joint and range of motion that you have at your disposal, get really strong there, and then have measurable improvement. And then also because even though we're meeting for 6 weeks and it's 3 times a week, it's technically not a ton of time, and so it's like we're going to get a really precise stimulus given the limited amount of time we have. Okay, rule number 1, no pain. And so the moniker like no pain, no gain, that does not apply here. I've been trying to think of a more elegant thing that actually fits on a t-shirt, and best I can think of is no pain, more gains. The idea being don't work through pain. Pain is useful, right? So if I'm doing bicep curls and every single one is like, ow, ow, that's my body telling you, hey, stupid, stop doing that. Let's do something else instead. That load is too much. And so maybe it's that going through here feels terrible, but I can go down to half of that at 10 pounds, and it's like, oh, this actually feels okay, and that is totally fine, because what we're trying to do is basically find where we have weakness, which is going to tend to be in the joints, not necessarily in the muscle itself. So your muscle adapts like crazy, your connective tissue doesn't, and then it starts sending you those signals. So our dealing with that is usually just reducing the load, reducing the angle, so that you can find a stimulus that doesn't hurt. In general, you're going to probably find something that hurts in here, because we kind of, to some degree, have to find a bit of pain in order to know where it is, so we can back off. But the idea is, as you find that pain, and you're working right up against it, but not actually crossing that threshold, it gets further and further away until, lo and behold, you don't have pain. And so that's why we train this way. So imagine my goal was to have big, strong arms or big biceps or whatever it is, and every single rep hurts. Well, I can't push myself to get a stimulus for growth and actually progress, because one of 2 things happen. Either I go, oof, I'm hedging and I'm going 80%, or I push through and I critically hurt myself and I can't do anything. Okay, so all of these movements are basically selected to A, resolve pain, get you through ranges of motion, big, deep ranges of motion without pain, and then also allow you to push a lot of these things with minimal thought to technique, which I know sounds weird, but we'll get into that. Minimal thought to technique so that you can push for maximum growth. Okay? Rule number 2, perfect form. So erosion of form leads to pain. So again, back to my bicep curls. If I'm doing all sorts of this wacky stuff and dropping things all over the place because I want to feel big and strong and I want to curl 10 or 15 more pounds than I'm actually capable of, well then, I'm going to find my pain. Okay? Erosion of form is also a false sense of progress. So if I get up to here and I go, all right, I'm super strong and look at me, big, strong guy, curling my 53 pounds, I've produced this sort of artificial gains, so to speak, as opposed to going like, you know what, this is actually where I'm at in a connective tissue and soft tissue space. I'm getting my progress, I'm stimulating the muscle. Turns out your arms and legs have no idea what the numbers are on these things, okay? And so slowly but surely I work my way up to the chain, and then with perfect form and no pain, I eventually arrive at that 53, okay? Rule number 3, be patient. Look, 6 weeks, it's not a lot of time. It's basically just enough time to find some before and after progress. But these are tools for life. So everything that we're doing here, I'm 38 years old. I think I out-age all you guys by like 20 years. And at 38, with kids, being near 40, I feel in the best shape of my life. I'm as big and strong as I've ever been. And it's because of all of these principles, right? And so if you did the next 10, 20 years of this stuff, like, guarantee you're going to find yourself in a place where a lot of your peers, again, I know it's hard to think of what's going to happen 10, 20 years from now, but a lot of them go like, oh, well, I got a bad back. And it's like, you don't have a bad back, you just have poor mechanics, bad training, bad habits, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so these are tools for life. I'm going to push you guys, but generally I'm going to push you for technique and not load. And so everything is going to be a little bit deeper. It's going to be a little bit longer in the pause. It's going to be a little bit deeper to absolute end range. So we're not going to spend much time here. We're going to spend a lot of time all the way down there and then all the way up here. So I'm basically going to be pushing you guys to get to end ranges, because that's where the gains lie in terms of resolving pain. Questions? Okay, pretty short and sweet. Today we're going to test the basics. So a lot of testing stuff, and this isn't like a max out necessarily. It's more of going like, okay, let's establish a baseline of where you're at so that we can productively move through these 6 weeks and we're not spending too much time guessing and checking. So quick review of kind of the format of the program for today. So we're going to do about the same warm-up every day. We're going to warm up on sleds. We're going to do tim raises. We're going to do some external rotations. Basically, these two movements here, if you took nothing from this except basically incorporating these two movements in your life, you'll experience less pain and you'll have better shoulder, foot, and knee function. Okay? From there, we're going to get to band pull aparts, just opening up the back, and then a little more specific into what we're doing for the day. Okay? So we'll hop into sleds, we'll do all that stuff. I'll explain as we go. From there, we're going to do a little couplet of movements. We're going to review some split squats, and we're going to review some ring dips, and then we're going to test both of these. This is going to generally be kind of working through about 5 sets up to about 5 each side. How much outside load can you add while still maintaining your good position? And this is going to be, you'll probably get 1 or 2 sets, like a warm-up set, and then working to like 1 good working set. Doing more isn't going to necessarily be better. You kind of get what you get after that first set. So most of the energy is going to be spent here. Moving on to this, same thing with the seated good morning, working to about a set of 10. Again, we'll review the form. Same thing with the ring chin-up test, basically how much pump can you get and get close to that set of 10. We'll take a quick break, move into back squats. I know you all back squat. Have you back squat before? Barbell back squats?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll review that a little bit. It's going to be a bit different than what you're used to. It's going to completely humble you in terms of what you think you ought to be able to back squat, but there's a good reason for that, and that is all of this stuff here. Okay, power raise, again, we'll go through that. And then every single day we're gonna have a work on weakness. So basically the last, I estimate between like 8 and 15 minutes. Who's got knee issues? Historic knee issues, okay? Who's got back and hip issues? Okay, who's got shoulder issues? Okay, elbow, wrist issues. So you don't have to be like dying critically to go, all right, I need to work on this. But the idea is you pick somewhere between 2 and 4 of these and we go, like, all right, we're gonna hammer. If you just want to have bulletproof knees for the whole rest of your life, we're gonna do bazillions of reps on this thing and so on and so forth, okay? So it's kind of getting into the nooks and crannies a little bit more specific to where you're at. Everything else is kind of foundational. All human beings ought to do these things. All human beings are gonna benefit from them. So there isn't a whole lot of diverging we need to do, but we'll save a little time at the end to basically address all of your specific boo-boos. Okay, with that, any questions? Let's jump in there. Let's head over to the